Good afternoon, Monday, November 14th. Mail call. 2 HKs. We got the model number 14717 and 14715. HK knives, if you've been following the knife news, are severing ties with Benchmade for reasons unknown to me anyway. And so I decided to pick up two before they were hard to find and expensive. So maybe this should prompt you in making that same decision. Now, I really like this particular model, this Tanto bladed D2 Tanto with the access, pillar construction, skeletonized. The G10 is just the right kind of texture. I think this is a Titanium nitride finish. Because I don't think they Cerakote the HKs for price constraints, and that's sort of what the HK line was all about. It's a sort of a no-nonsense line of knife for professionals, meaning, you know, military, law enforcement, things like that. HK make firearms as well, so they've been around for a very, very long time, you know. So anyway, to continue on with my with what I'm thinking about these knives, they come out of the box a little unrefined in the sense that the action is slightly gritty. I mean, they move just fine, you know. I just sort of want to swing it around to show you guys. See, right there's a little bit of stiffness. This one is stiffer than the Tanto. For what reason, I don't know. Maybe the pivot is a little bit stiff. I don't know. So they're fine. I've been playing with them for about 10 minutes, and they're smoothing out as I go. So in about 10-15 minutes of play, they're already smoothing out. There's a little bit of lock stick on this one. But I've had lock stick on a Benchmade, particularly this Crooked River here, had lock stick pretty bad, and now it's completely gone just by using it, just by playing with it. I didn't actually use the knife. This is more like a safe queen collector sort of thing, but just by flipping it back and forth, the lock stick has now been corrected. So it's quite smooth. So I expect the same out of these. Now, being that the fact that there's a D2 blade and that tang is D2, and that's a hardened lock bar, hardened steel lock bar, it's going to take a little while, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, depending on the particular knife you got. This one's smoother already out of the box than that one. So you can already tell that there are small variations between, you know, two knives coming out of the same factory. These are the same knife essentially, just different shape, just different blade configurations and different color G10 handles, but they're the same knife essentially. So I brought out my Manix 2 just for size comparison. 3.6 inch blade. I'm not sure of the weight. This is, I think, a 3.5 or 4 or 5 inch blade, something like that. So it's about the same. The handles are about the same. The Manix 2, believe it or not, weighs more because it's not skeletonized. And it has the famous ball lock. I love these types of lock, what's the word? Configuration, but not really. Philosophies, or what's the word? I like these locks. Okay, the configurations are pretty much the same. They have the same idea behind them, right? A lock bar jams itself out between a these lock bars jam themselves between the liner, the top of that liner, and the ramp tang there, and I just cut myself with the bottom of that blade right there when I folded the knife. I felt it cut myself. It's probably not going to bleed right away, but I felt it. Anyway, that ramp there, I don't know if I'm moving it around to, so maybe the reflection will give you a better idea of what's going on here. But yeah, that ramp, as you can tell, that little black mark there is where the ramp stops. That's just dirt where the ramp, the lock bar stops on the ramp when you lock it in. And these are some of the strongest locks in the world. So you got, oh, there it is. See, it's starting to bleed. I'm a slow bleeder. Anyway, these are some of the strongest locks in the world. The strongest type of locks in the world. The axis lock from Benchmade. The ball piston lock from Spyderco. And the SOG arc lock. Those three locks are pretty much, they run on the same philosophy. They run on the same configurations. They both put a piece of metal in between the ramp, between the ramp of the blade, and this particular knife would be a backspacer, a metal backspacer, and it's just as strong. These are indestructible. Not indestructible, but the knife will never close on you unless you destroy the knife somehow. You go beyond, way beyond the physical characteristics of the materials, and you destroy the knife, and that's the only way it'll close on you. Otherwise, you can trust your fingers with these. They will never close down on you. Never. Never these particular configurations. I don't know why I can't figure that the word that I wanted to come up with. Now it's bothering me. So anyway, back to these D2 blades. D2 blades, and they're sharp. They're perfect. They're razor hair shaving sharp. I can do a little hair shave test here. Yep, hair shaving sharp. And big thick stock. And there's really not much to really ramble on about these, except that you should get yourself one before they become scarce. If you don't want to spend money, spend all the money when it starts to really become hard to find. So that's why I bought these. So I just want to keep it short, a little quick hello, and a little message of peace to say that this is a bit of a crazy world. And we need people out there who take no shit, but also they don't give any shit. You know, they cause peace where they go. Friendliness, peacefulness, and togetherness. We don't need to be divided as a country, as a world, as a nation. I'm Canadian, but in the United States there's big issues, but it's starting to spread all over the world. We're not, the United States is not the only country now that's having these issues of race, and I don't know why history is starting to repeat itself. It's obviously because we're not learning from our past. But be peaceful, guys. So go out there, be peaceful warriors. A warrior is someone who will go to war to ensure peace. But when peace is had, that warrior does not cause any more trouble. So be one of those guys or girls. Be peaceful and enjoy your knives. I just want to give you a little bit of a, let's see if I can bring focus in, just a little bit of a little detail shot for you. This is nice. This is my favorite of the two. I'm not big on serrations, but this model does not come non-serrated or plain blade, plain edge. So I got this one. But yeah, they come a little unrefined. And the fact that because again, they're a lower cost, a lower price point, but just as quality. Seriously, the liners are just as thick. They're just as robust as like, you know, I don't know, this A10 Contigo, I can't compare these two because this is a monster blade, but it's still in the same class. They would still be in the same class. Contigo has a 4-inch blade, just to give you a size comparison like that. And the Manix, what did I say? Did I say it already? 3.5, something like that. These are 3.6, and these are all 4-inchers. All 4-inch blades here. 810, Crooked River, 710. So just to give you a bit of an idea of size-wise of these knives. And I would have to say that the 810 or the 710 is pretty much around the same weight as this Manix. These two HKs, this is heavier, 810 is heavier, and the Crooked River, probably around the same. We're talking like 1.5 ounces, 0.5 ounce difference. When I handle things, I've been handling knives and weights, because I lift weights. I've been handling knives and things, and you know, testing weight this way. For all my life. So I'm not accurate, but I'm pretty close. So I bet you any money that these knives are only 0.5 to 0.7 difference, except for this one. This one's heavy. But anyways, guys, I don't want to ramble too long. I already said my sign-off message. Be peaceful and have a good day.